All right, so just got done seeing Napoleon, and I was thinking earlier, it was you almost kind of want to compare it to Gladiator, at least I do, um, not for the total quality of the movie, just you want an epic movie. You want at least the same basic filmmaking as that movie, and with Joaquin Phoenix being in it and Ridley Scott being in it, it's kind of like connected that way. Um, I will say that going into it, I knew it could not be as good as Gladiator. That personally is just a movie that it's about the action in that movie, but it's more about the bloody spectacle of the the fighting with the dramatic story of his wife and kid. And I knew in Napoleon that it would be a different feel of a movie. So yeah, it's not good to compare those two movies as far as what they're about and their themes and things like that. But I just wanted to compare them as far as, will I be able to add this into my tier of Ridley Scott epics that I think are worthwhile watching and seeing fairly often. And I would put Napoleon in that realm. I I was astonished when I saw the critical rating and the audience rating for this online, and it seemed rather low. It's still somewhat positive from the few reviews that I've seen, but definitely nowhere near as what I would hope for, and definitely nowhere near as high as what I feel after watching this, because I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed that it was not just about the battles. Some of the most interesting aspect is the relationship and how he talks to his wife, and well, how they both interact. I thought that was some of the most interesting things. I was thinking, I kind of knew about 30% of the story before I saw it from, like, history classes and stuff like that, and just reading stuff. And the other 70% I enjoy. There's aspects that the way it was told in this movie kind of made the history seem to be more clear than what I remember just reading from textbooks. It brought to life that period very well. And so, not only when I go back and research and maybe watch some documentaries or whatnot of Napoleon's life, and compare it to the actual movie, that I just saw. Not only will I want to go back and look up all the battles and stuff like that, but I also want to be able to look into his more personal life and his relationship with his wife Josephine, because that was as interesting, if not somewhat more interesting, of the side of his life, as opposed to the battles that was going on. So I think the accomplishment it does with that is very good. I was, I wasn't afraid, but it's definitely a movie that could focus on the wars and not so much the odd aspects of his life, and they would be good, but I don't think they would be good as this. Some of the criticisms that I've seen from this is, and I think, if I remember correctly, I think I read articles about how so much of this had to be cut before the release. It was originally, pretty long. I mean, all movies are usually pretty long. I mean, you see comedies like the first cut's 4 hours, and then you get down to an hour and a half. So, yeah, I mean, of course, the movie was longer than 2 hours and 38 minutes or whatever. I don't feel that I was missing anything that did not make it feel like a complete movie. Um, you know, could there have been more to it? Definitely. Will there be an extended version of this? Quite possibly. I would definitely like that. But did I feel like there was like missing parts, or did it jump over it large amounts of times? Or I mean, I mean, the story is a lot of years in his life, like close to 30 or something like that. So yeah, so it does skip forward in time here and there, but it never felt like it was skipping forward past stuff that I was expecting to see or felt that I should have seen. So any negative comments about stuff missing or feeling incomplete, I don't get it. Sure, it could have been more complete, but the movie could have also been 12 hours long. Anyway, I definitely really liked it. I loved the way it put you in that time period. Um, I I have a whole bunch of movies set like in the 17th century. I have a whole lineup at home, like 6 movies or so. That's really good. And I do like when a movie takes place in that time period, and especially when you're seeing like upper society in France, just seeing the way they have to wash themselves or do things like that. I think the movie does a really good job of putting you there. The cinematography it's not a very bright movie. Even when they're outside, it's not even that bright, but it really feels like you're there. I could go on for a while, but I do say that I really liked it. The audience liked it. So I'm not sure about those reviews online. So comment below. Let me know if you've seen it, if you agree with if it felt like things were missing. Do you think how long can an extended version be if it comes out? Well, when it comes out, if there's an extended version of it, I don't know. Overall, let me know what you thought of it. I'm really interested in knowing why it's so low rated online. But until the next one, have a good evening.